Howdy there everyone and welcome to my channel. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a game that I've been enjoying a lot, and as such, I kind of have a bunch of crazy ideas for decks, but I unfortunately can only have up to 20 decks, so to live out those crazy fantasies, I just decided to create this series where I just go through archetypes that I'm really interested in and just, make mock-up decks out of them just for fun, and then show them off, maybe help someone who's struggling with the decks. This first one is going to be actually on an archetype that a friend of mine's making, so I mainly just decided to make this mock-up deck for him. So, yeah, and to that friend who's watching this video right now, hi, thanks for checking this out. Also, to anybody watching this, feel free to just, if you see, a stupid idea, let's say you're like, oh, well, this is a Rikka deck, and I want to run 3 snowdrops. Run three snowdrops. This is just a mock-up deck. Do whatever you want. That being said, here's the deck profile for Rikkas. So, 3 Rikka petals. Basically, its effect is that you can target 1 Rikka monster from your deck and add it to your hand. Also, if the only monsters that you control are plant monsters, or if the only cards that you control, or if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So yeah, you want to run 3 of these. Now you can if there are 2 of these, you can only use 1 effect, so you can only special summon 1, unfortunately, but it's still really good. 1 max C, I feel like 1's enough, and this specifically for Master Duel, because for some unexplained reason, max C's banned into TCG, have no idea why. Don't try and justify it in the comments, I already know what you're gonna say. And yeah, I feel like 1's the magic number for this deck. You don't want to clog the deck too much with non-water monsters. That being said, if you look at the extra deck, but I'll explain the extra deck when it comes. But yeah, 1 max C I feel as well is good enough. Now, Lone Flower Blossom, I was debating whether or not to put 3 in the deck, but if I was personally making this deck and personally running it, then I feel like 2's the magic number for me, but you can very realistically go to 3 with this card. Its effect, you contribute 1 plant monster to special summon 1 plant monster, including itself. And this Rikkas are very based on tributing, so I think that this effect would go off of Rikka flyers. And yeah, it's basically as long as a Rikka monster is tributed, so yeah. 2 Ash Blossom, again, 2's the magic number for me. I don't want to clog the deck too much with hand traps. I typically go from 4, maybe 5, depending on the deck for hand traps, because I don't want to clog my deck. And 3 I feel, and more than 3 with this deck I feel would clog, but yeah, if you're running this in TCG, you can get rid of max C and instead go 3 Ash Blossom. I don't think I need to explain that. Okay, so for level 4s, you have 3. You basically want to run the 3 level 4s, 3 of each. This one increases, and this one decreases plant monsters by 2 levels. Again, this deck is a very Exceed heavy deck, so you want to basically use the so yeah, you basically want to go to rank 4 or to rank 6, maybe even rank 8, depending on your preference. You run 2 Mudons. This one you can very realistically go to 3 again. In fact, I would probably say run 3 over this, because I feel like Erica, it just increases, like, you know, the attack, but it can also special summon itself, so I guess it's fine. But personally, I prefer 3 Mudons, simply because, like, you can add a Rikka spell or trap to your hand from your deck. So this is a searcher. It gets like, you know, some of the clutter out from your deck, and, you know, basically you're more likely to draw on the cards you actually need. 2 Snowdrops. Tribute 1 plant monster, special summon this, and 1 plant monster from your hand, and then target 1 plant monster you control. All plant monsters become that monster's level. So yeah, basically, if you want to go for a rank 4, then you can just target one of your level 4s. This will also become level 4. Or if you want to go for a level 6, yeah, it just go for a level 6 easily. Yeah. 2 Hellbores. Is that how you say it? Heelbore? Hellbore? Anyway. Basically, this is your hand trap. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, you don't want to run, like, more than 1 hand trap, but here's why. Here's why you want to run this. You can basically tribute this card from your hand or field to negate an effect that targets one of your Rikka monsters. Really, really good card, and you can also tribute, like, 1 plant monster on the field to special summon this from your graveyard. So yeah, again, just really, really good overall. For your one-offs, you got 1 Run Rye, 1 Harpies, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Foolish Burial. Now, Foolish Burial is to go for Petal. Yeah, that's basically it. Or, you know, like, maybe you want to, like, you know, Foolish Burial something else. Like, maybe you want to Foolish Burial a Hell in order to, you know, go for more Rikka plays, or, you know, just something. But yeah. I personally like to run 1 Foolish Burial in a lot of my decks. And besides, let's say you already have a Petal in your hand, well, then this can also be used as bait for Ash Blossom. In fact, that's why I like to use it as bait for Ash Blossom. Okay, and you want to run 3 more of Greeds. It's a heavily focused water deck, so shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand into the deck, then draw 3 cards. So you can basically just get rid of 2 water monsters that you're not a fan of, and there you go. Now, an alternative is that you can also run Pot of Aberrance, and in fact, that's what I'd probably say you want to do, to run 2 Pot of Aberrance. But yeah, this card, it's basically like a Pot of Greed, except you have to shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand. Personally, I really, really like this card, and I don't understand why I don't see it more in water decks. 3 Rikka Glamours, tribute 1 plant. You can tribute 1 plant monster, and then you can add 1 Rikka monster from your deck to your hand. Honestly, I really, really, really think that this card is a staple card of the deck. It allows you to get rid of a lot of the clutter again, and yeah, it's just a really good card overall. Rikka Fairies. If you tribute a Rikka monster, you make your opponent tribute 1 monster they control. Also, this card doesn't target it. Now, the caveat is that if you control a non-plant monster, you have to destroy this card, which is definitely going to be weird when you consider my extra deck, but yeah, trust me, there's a method to my madness. Wall of Thorns. If a plant monster you control is targeted for attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Really, really good card for plant decks. I feel like this is a staple for all plant decks. Rikka Tranquility. Tribute one plant monster, you can anyway, and then special summon one Rikka monster from your graveyard in defense. So yeah, basically this is like a slower Monster Reborn, but I don't know, I really like it. Rikka Sheets. Target one monster your opponent controls, also tribute one plant monster. It's basically a negate. Personally, I feel like I can go two or three, depending, but yeah. You can also, like, I didn't read its other effects, sorry, and then if you tributed a monster, you can take control of that monster and it becomes a plant monster. So, yeah. Basically you can go for Xseed plays. And then 2 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. Most of your monsters are plant monsters. So, basically, this makes it so that if your opponent is playing a deck that has multiple monster types, they have to pick and choose like which monsters they want to get rid of or which monsters they want to keep. It really screws over a lot of decks, and I really, really like this card. In fact, when I played Chaos back in the day, this one card pretty much just shut down my entire deck. Like, it's really, really good, and definitely consider it. Okay, so, as for your extra deck, one Abyss Dweller, water monster, increases all water monsters by 500. And then detach one material from this card, and your opponent can't activate any card effects in their graveyard. Again, it just shuts down. This card just shuts down a lot of graveyard plays. It's ridiculously good. Okay, two Rikka Queens. Detach one material from this card, then target one plant monster or Rikka card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Then, if this card, well, it has an XYZ material, is tributed, you can special summon one rank 5 or higher plant Xseed from your extra deck or graveyard. Then attach it to this card as a material. Holy crap. Like, this, and keep in mind, it says rank 5 or higher Xseed. So it can be like rank 9, rank 12, rank 10, rank 13, doesn't matter. As long as it's level 5 or higher, and it's a plant Xseed monster. Really, really good. Okay, so now I'm sure you've noticed that a trend with my extra deck that I'm running non-plant monsters, but the reason for that is to basically act as sort of like chokes for opponent. But yeah, that being said, basically you want one number 24. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card to target one monster on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck. Change it to face down defense. If this card is sent to your graveyard or banished by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon it in face down defense. Then, if it's flipped face up, send one card on the field to the graveyard. Notice how that second part of its effect doesn't say target. That's why. You can easily go for this thanks to the Rikka monsters, thanks to your Rikka monsters, and this is 100% just basically meant to act as a sort of choke for your opponent in case they summon like a herald or something, or a card that, you know, can't be targeted. Because this card doesn't say target, yeah, that's why it's ridiculous. Okay, and then this card right here, don't know how to say that. I'm not even gonna try. When a card is tributed, you can detach one material from this card, then target one card in either player's graveyard and special summon it, but negate its effects. Also, it becomes a plant monster. If plant monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can tribute one plant monster from your hand or field instead. So yeah, this one right here is another good card, and definite, and you know, you can easily go for it thanks to the cards you have. Really like this card, and this is another one where it's like you can easily take it out if it doesn't fit. But this one right here, it's 100% just meant to act as a sort of option card. If cards you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from this card instead. If this card is special summoned, you can activate one of the effects. Send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard. So basically you special summon this card, send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard. Notice how it says it doesn't target. So yeah, that's why. This effect right here, it doesn't target, it's good, it's a good option to go for, that's why. And then 2 teardrops, detach one material from this card, then target one card in the field and tribute it. Unfortunately, it does say target, which is unfortunate, but each time a card monster is tributed, this card gains 200 attack. Yeah, it's good. And then I feel like you can go down to 1. I run 2 of these because I just run 2 of these to basically fill up the extra deck. But yeah, you can very realistically only go to 1. But anyway, during your turn Sacred Tree Beast. It's a rank 9, so you can only really go for it with Rikka Queen here. But yeah. But it's a plant monster, so during your turn, when you activate a card or quick effect, you can target one card of the same type, be it monster, spell, or trap, in your graveyard and attach it to this card as material. During your opponent's turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach one material of the same type, be it monster, spell, or trap from this card, and if you do, negate that activation and destroy that card. So basically, if your opponent activates, like, let's say an Ash Blossom when you're trying to get a card, then you can basically just detach a material from this card, be like, no to that, and yeah, it's good. Okay, so I run me Starboy because all water monsters gain 500 attack and defense. It's secondary effect of fire monsters losing, doesn't matter, but if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So yeah, that's why I have it. 2 Jasmines. I'm running 2 because I have a bias because of the secondary name, but basically all plant monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by battle, but its secondary effect is why I use it. You can tribute one monster this card points to special summon one plant monster from your deck to your field. Because of this card based on tributing, basically you can summon so you can use this card off of Petal, summon Petal, Rikka Fairies would activate, and yeah. it's good. I'm not sure how often you'll activate its effect of gaining life points, but, you know, if you can make it work, you can make it work, no problem. And then finally, two eras. Target one, now, if you are facing, you know, other water decks, then you can use, like, or if your opponent has water monsters, then you can use its secondary effect of targeting a water monster in your opponent's graveyard. But if not, then if it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, then you can add one water monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. So basically you can go into Hellbore. You can go into Cycleman, or you can go into Erica, you can go into Petal. You can go into basically quite a number of cards in your deck, but yeah. Hopefully this gives people ideas as for like cards for this type of deck right here. And yeah, hopefully I helped out someone, but hey. But, who knows. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.